Damn, that's a big hole in the ground. In this video, I'll take you through how we renovated our swimming hole. From digging it out to remove silt and sludge, to fixing the leak using bentonite, and concreting a few more steps for ease of swimming. This is the dam next to the main residence that we like to call the pond. It is normally the home to many frogs and tadpoles and the wild ducks, herons and cormorants that like to visit from time to time. Unfortunately, it has a leak in it, which causes the water level to fall in the dry times, and when the 2019 drought brought the Black Summer bushfires, it got very, very low. So we are hoping that this renovation will fix the leak as well as remove the layers of silt and weeds that have built up in it since it was built in the early 90s. The water from this pond is used for the bushfire sprinklers on the house and also for garden watering and swimming in summer. We were of course concerned for the inhabitants of the pond, so before any work started we made this little habitat for the tadpoles, the frogs and any other critters that were in there. So we've got this half IBC left over from our garden enclosure build. They have a very nice home in here with pipes and rocks to hide under, as well as reeds dug up from the pond before it was dug. All so that they would feel at home in their smaller pond. There's a bunch of tadpoles in here who are very happy still. So without further ado, let's go make a mess. This was never going to be an easy project, and Tom from Rural Earth and Water was the only person we could find willing to take on the job. Thanks, Tom. The first part required covering the entry steps with clay so that there was access to the pond. The clay needed to be transported from a nearby area and tamped down to give a solid base so that the excavator could get into the pond for access. Then, the process of removing the mud and weeds could properly begin. During this process, we also wanted to make the pond deeper, and we were lucky that only a few rocks were encountered, and Tom managed to get the smaller ones out. The process of road building and removal of mud continued until the excavator reached the deepest part. This was quite difficult because there was still water running in from the gravel seam, and the excavator was at a very steep angle. Look at all that sludge running down the side there. Yuck. The plan was to line the dam with bentonite clay, and we had 6 tons of it delivered in 5 bulker bags. The bulker bags have this lovely little hatch on the bottom which makes emptying them out quite easy. Tom used the excavator to spread this on the walls and then mixed it in with the clay and tamped it down. Bentonite needs to be applied in a very precise way to ensure that it works effectively. The bentonite has to be mixed into the clay of the pond walls and then compacted, like a lot of compaction. We did not have the luxury of a second smaller machine to run over the walls, unfortunately. This would have compacted it really well, but we are relying on the compaction from this excavator bucket, so there was a lot of this going on. The last part of the bentonite sealing is that the water needs to be filled very slowly to allow the bentonite to expand to fill the voids in the clay and seal the leaks. It's this swelling of the clay that creates the permanent seal. So much mixing. So this whole process took 3 days, by the way, so that's why there's so much mixing and compacting going on. So much compacting. The last stage was to remove the road and expose the stairs. But then we hit a really big rock. As you can see, wasn't particularly successful in either breaking it up or removing it, so we decided to leave it in. Having actually had a go at driving and digging with an excavator once, not this one but a different one a few years ago, the skill involved in being this precise with the bucket is quite impressive. I was digging with it and I just would gouge great chunks of earth without even meaning to, because it's very small movements to do a lot of earth moving with these things. So the fact that he had such precise motor control over the bucket is very impressive to me. I certainly couldn't do it. We planned to make a new platform on this end, which was 1.8 metres deep, for swimming. Then began the delicate work of digging out the stairs. The skill of the operator was very important, as we did not want to destroy the stairs, and since he could not see what he was doing, having someone there to guide him was crucial. Thanks, Dad.
Tom, how did you feel about this job?
It was definitely a tricky one, a few obstacles we had to get around, but yeah, I think the finished product's come up good, yeah.
And what was the hardest part?
Probably trying to work in the dam with the water still coming in, and such a steep angle with the other obstacles like the stairs and stuff, yeah.
The excavation had exposed clay below the existing concrete, so it was very important to put new concrete in as soon as possible to shore up these walls. Look at all that form work! After the stairs, platform and path were poured, the wall was formed and then poured. Speed was very important here as rain was forecast, so the boys worked really hard. Look at them go, they're so quick! Oh wait, it's a time lapse, never mind. Then the rain came and gave us 40 mils, which let us start filling it up again, nice and slow, just like we want. The frogs returned from their hiding places around the perimeter and let us know how happy they were to have their pond back, and the ducks arrived back as well. So this is what it looks like today. It's still on the way to filling up. We need a little bit more rain before it's completely full. As you can see, it's also a little bit cloudy. We're still waiting for the last bits of the bentonite sediment to settle out. But so far, so good. It seems to be above the level of the gravel seam, which is where the leak was, and it's holding water at the moment. So let me know if you have any experiences with using bentonite. What can we expect in the future? How long is this going to take to settle? That's what I really want to know. How long till I can go swimming? Very excited for summertime swims! Thanks so much to Tom from Rural Earth and Water for coming in and doing all the excavator work. Huge shout out goes to my dad for filming and editing all of this GoPro footage. He also did the sound design and music. He does the music for most of my videos actually, because I was away while all of this was happening and wasn't able to help or film any of it, unfortunately. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe. Most of my other videos are a lot more aesthetic than this, but this was a very muddy kind of video, so we're embracing it. That's what property life's all about. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye!